What in the fuck?
This is for the next condom podcast video. What happened? You
I put chocolate-covered coconut almonds in my pocket and then got them there.
I've also been thinking about, okay, I think it was the Romans, how did they destroy Carthage? By salting their fields. So it's just so idiotic for us to be salting roads, because it leaches into our agricultural fields and makes them less productive. But anyway,
and it just leaches not even our agricultural fields, just our ecosystems.
right.
I mean, this is an agriculture, but it's also killing this.
Right. And think about the waterways.
Yeah.
In the rivers down to the oceans, you know. So yes, I totally hear that. But what do you think about, you know, we were talking yesterday about how, well, maybe it's not such a bad thing that when a storm came through that they closed down businesses. Like, what are your thoughts on, you know, sort of long-term vacations for people, you know, how to reinstate long-term vacations for people?
Yeah, so I've been actually thinking about that a little bit too, because with this new union job, one of the things in the article that says is to have 32-hour work weeks instead of 40-hour work weeks. And I've also been reading in Sacred Economics how, you know, they're talking about, like, he's talking about, like, the mechanization of the world, and how that for generations and generations people have kept saying, well, with machines make work easier. When in reality, we know that's not true, and that we have worked today more than we have ever before. And we've had some of the hardest, I mean, people work so fucking hard today for no need. It's for the insane consumerism that our society is obsessed with. It's overconsumption. And I think that's the same with agriculture. I mean, look at how many people or how much food so many people throw away or compost. It's one thing to compost, but as I've said before, it's another thing to just overproduce, which is so unnecessary, especially when you have, what you said, 20% of Americans who are living on $15 a week.
A day. $15 a day.
A day, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
A day. So I think what needs to first happen is for our society, our nation, to realize that we do not need all this shit. People have so many things. I mean, just like, go into an average American's house and you'll be like, okay, why is this on the wall? Why was that in that hotel we were in? Why was that basket sitting on top of the fridge? It was so unnecessary. And you look at an average American's refrigerator, and they have so much food that's rotting. I went to my mom and Paul's house, and I threw about 2 garbage bags away of food that was rotting. So it's about, so in the relation, in the example of the big storm that came in yesterday, and shops that closed down, I think that is what should happen. I think we should respond to our natural environment. And I think for too long, we haven't.
Right.
And that's why we are in the place that we're in. Especially now as we're seeing, like, big ag more and more in the news, and how corrupt they are, and how important local sustainable farming is.
Well, I think that this really goes back to, I mean, I'm always connecting it to what I'm currently reading, but it goes back to The Republic by Plato, where he says, storytellers rule the world, and that, we have to be really careful about the stories that are told, because that is what ultimately determines your decision making, not necessarily rationality or, cold calculation, which I think a lot of economics, supposes that we do. And so I think really I connect it as well to our transition towards atheism in the modern world, and not just, against God, which I think has its own problems, because I think there are, let's not throw out the baby with the bathwater. Let's not say just because religion has corrupted doesn't mean that there are values of religion that aren't really important. And so the value that I'm talking about in relation to this is faith. And I think we've lost faith. And we've lost faith in, for instance, small local farms. We are afraid that we will not have the food every day in sufficient quantities at a grocery store for us to consume. I think we have been told we have inherited this story that that fertilizers, big agriculture, shopping supermarkets, and stuff like that are a way to ensure that you are going to have a stocked fridge and a stocked pantry every day of the year. Not only are you going to be able to be full, but you're going to be able to stuff yourself, and you're going to be able to throw food away, just like you're saying. Because we've lost faith in the idea that if you have a small local organic farm, that's automatically going to mean bad yields. That's automatically going to mean you're going to be hungry. I think that it's a lie, and it does take faith, and it does take courage, and it does take a little bit of uncertainty to say, hey, I am going to live organically. If we get bad rain, then we might have to have some canned food, or we might have to ask our neighbors if they had good crops or something like that. And sometimes we might even go hungry, or we might need to hunt, or things of this nature. But yeah, I think it comes down to our faith, and our faith in the natural world to take care of us. Take care of us.
Wow, that's a really good answer, baby. Lost in our faith of the natural world to take care of us. And for us to take care of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've severed the relationship before, it ever did. It's just like, I mean, talk